What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you a new anime review of Alderamin of the Sky, Episode 3, and some parts of Episode 2. I hear you all loud and clear. Many of you are asking me for this entirety of this week, where is the Episode 2 review? Are you going to continue watching it? Did you drop the series? No, I did not drop the series. I just did not have the time last week to watch Episode 2. And then I just waited until Episode 3 came out before I can talk about it. Here I am. Now, I just finished binge watching Episode 2 and 3 back to back, and it was quite the enjoyable experience. I definitely enjoyed the experience from these two episodes, and I love the direction the series is going. And since this is necessarily the third episode of Alderamin of the Sky, I've once again got to say how many of you are going to continue watching and how many of you are going to drop the said series, because usually after 3 episodes you can kind of get a good picture of what direction the series might be going with, especially with the characters. And so far from what I've seen from these 2 episodes, Episode 2 and 3, it's been a lot of characterization for our main character, of how he carries himself, his abilities to plan things out and overcome situations ahead of him, and also how much of a genius he is. And I love the character. I truly love the character because he's not, so to say, I guess, physically strong. I mean, he has some physical parts about him that's really strong, but when it comes to some of his character, it's mainly about his brain, his knowledge, what he knows about certain things. And I love the way he interacted in the classroom in Episode 3, which I want to point out. So, there was multiple scenes throughout the episode where it looked like he was being very lazy, he didn't care about being there, and he didn't want to be. Like, there's 3 things he never wanted to be. Because of this, he didn't want to be there at all. And he let us know about this at the end of Episode 2. And so in the middle of Episode 3, throughout the majority of the episode, it just seemed like he didn't give a shit. Like, he didn't care about everything that he was doing. He seemed like he just didn't want to be there. But then, when he was in the middle of the class with the princess, and he heard the lecture going on in the background, even though he was passing notes, it looked like he wasn't paying attention, he was able to understand what was going on around him, and he was being able to understand what the teacher was even saying to him, and he knew exactly what page to be on, even though apparently it looked like he wasn't paying attention at all. So it goes to show you that he has the ability to pay attention to things around him, hear information, and also he understands quite a bit about the history of his government and everything like that. So I truly enjoy his character, of how smart he is and how he actually looks into the deeper meaning of some of the things that's happened in the past and some of the things that needs to be praised instead of some of the things that are written in history. And oh yeah, one thing I gotta point out is that if there's one thing I think teachers hate in general, one thing, and one thing alone, I know personally from experience, teachers hate when you correct them and you actually think you're smarter than them. I know there's many cases in society that's happened to where, like, if you can, or you know something a teacher doesn't, usually they can kind of get pissed with you. And it looks like the teacher in this episode, Episode 3 of Alderamin of the Sky, was getting quite pissed with our main character because he knew some things or he was interpreting it in a different way than the teacher wanted. Because, I mean, there's many teachers out there that want you to actually learn from their perspective, how they think it is. And if you don't listen to their perspective, they think you're wrong. There's many teachers out there. I'm not saying all teachers are, because there's some very wonderful teachers out there. But I know from personal experience that there's teachers that want you to view a certain thing their way, and if you don't view it their way, you're incorrect, or they get really pissed off. So I really like that also about our main character, of how he was actually interpreting something completely different, and how he was trying to exceed his knowledge and showcase that sometimes you need to look past the writing of history and look deeper into it. Now, one other thing to talk about is that in this episode there is a mock battle going on, and we get to see for the first time, like, a glimpse of his genius, of how he's able to overcome certain situations ahead of him, and how he's able to kind of think outside of the box. So he gets control of an entire army, and it's a mock battle, obviously. It's a mock battle, so it's fake, but still, it means a lot of weight here, to showcase, like, how intelligent you are of taking command of an army. And so, our main character, he's controlling an army, he's figuring out where they're going to be resting at, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to be, you know, combating the enemy army. And as he says throughout the episode, he's like, you need to make sure you have an advantage. I don't want to go into the middle of the open plain. I'd rather be in a battle that have the advantage in. And so he actually brought the enemy army to him, and he actually has a river between him and his enemy's army, which is going to be a very huge advantage for him. So I really like the direction of the series where our main character is manipulating, like, his opponents to be able to overcome them in battle and tactics. So I can't wait to see more of him. I really like the opening song too. Kind of hints at his mind, how much of a genius he is, because you see the chess pieces on that. He's like on the board looking at it, like blind chess. I do like the way the opening kind of hints at how smart he is and how epic he's probably going to be in the future. I think the last time I saw like a chessboard like that, I think was No Game No Life. I remember No Game No Life, there was like a chessboard type sequence in the series. So thinking about it like that, I'm willing to bet there's going to be some awesome exchanges in the future with his character. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how do you all feel about Alderman of the Sky? Do you enjoy this series? How do you feel about episode 2 and 3? How do you feel about the series thus far? Are you going to continue watching it? Are you going to drop it? Please let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.